Hey guys, welcome to another stream, and I just realized that my title card is wrong. This is actually issue 22, not issue 20. Okay, Mark, I will talk slow since you're heading home. Nah, you drive fast. Oh, that's terrible. Don't turn it into a pumpkin, GB. So, what was I thinking? What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I just noticed on my title cards that it's wrong. It's issue 22 I'm working on, not issue 20. Let me see. Okay, it looked like it was backwards at first. So, tell you guys right now, I'm a little beat this evening because I actually worked from the office today, and I actually had real work rather than just training and trying to figure things out. The program I'm working is, you guys know I'm a budget analyst, so I'm revamping a very large spreadsheet that I use to develop slides to track my program. Let's see. Not good. So when you're redesigning a spreadsheet that somebody else designed, it can get a little tasking. Your brain gets tired. So I may be a little, I don't know, rough tonight. Plus, I'm still fighting that same stupid head cold I've had for the last 2 weeks. Yes, that 4-letter word, work. But no, the head cold is not COVID. It's not going to turn into COVID. I'm fully vaccinated. I know that doesn't mean I won't get it, but I usually don't get sick at all. The bug that bites me dies. Yes, it's musical live streams, white gloves. I take it you streamed earlier? I didn't even catch it. I got home from work about 2 hours ago. You know, and if you were streaming, sorry I missed it. Sorry if I interrupted it. To Sandy. Who is Sandy? Shout out to Sandy anyway. I don't know who Sandy is, but shout out. Let me see. I'm a little high up. You guys probably noticed I look about 25 years younger today. I shaved. Ah, okay. I shaved this thing that is all gray, and had my wife cut my hair, which got rid of most of the gray, so I look a lot younger than I did this morning. Or not this morning, but than yesterday. So, what else? Oh, let me see. Let me point this a little bit further down. There is something you guys haven't seen in a while. On the right is the main tower. All the lights work on it. On the left is the secondary tower, the payload tower for the shuttle. I'm about to hook that up at the hinge. I've got the lights just about done for it. So this weekend, which is a 9-day weekend for me since I'm taking leave next week, I will be working on that, and I will also be doing it at least. There'll at least be some pictures uploaded, and I got to get the group build re-uploaded to HLI. Still runs through the end of, I was going to say March, the end of April, because that's the end of the 40th year anniversary of the shuttle. And, I've got to get the pictures posted so that you guys can see what I've been doing. I have been taking pictures while I've been working on it. Oh, okay, I see. Well, where'd her name go? I saw it. Sandy, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. So, what else? I told you guys I'm taking leave next week, working on the Ghostbusters. I'm going to work a lot on the Ghostbusters. I'm going to bring the X-Wing back, and I'm going to do the Terminator, because those are all really close to being to where I can finish them up. I got to finish up the space shuttle and the Claude, so that. Tell her she's well. You're welcome, Sandy. Got to finish up the Claude so that I can try and get that into the braille scale model build, group build, and it's actually underneath the parts for the car tonight. It actually is very tiny. It's one of the smallest models I've ever worked on. Other than that, I posted in the comments. I heard from the Agostini or Fan Home. I've emailed them, or I've called them several times, and they're thinking that my shipment is the stuff. They haven't received my stuff for issue 4 so that they could ship it. It should be on the barges that are out in LA Harbor, but they charged me for issue 5, which tells me that they might be able to be breaking that dam soon and stuff flowing. Love water. Nothing new on the Enterprise yet. I have one issue and I'm going to start working on it. And the Titanic, you guys, if you watch on, or if you are on Discord, you'll have seen that I've made comments about the fact that I think it's going to be wood. It's going to be all wood, I believe, wood and plastic, not wood and metal like I expected. And on their site it says you have to paint it yourself. I'm really disappointed with that. So let's flip cameras, and I want to show you something. I'm actually Eric Rascal's Hobbies. I'm really glad that you turned me on to this camera because it still has some banding. You can see some banding right here and here, but it's not flowing. It's not interrupting the picture near as bad. That is a $10 webcam, folks. Eric bought it, mentioned it on Discord. I think it is an awesome buy. It works. I plugged it in for the first time today. It works great, and it gets me back to my 2-camera or 3-camera functionality. Let me see if I can, without messing the stream up too badly. Let's see, that's about as high as I can get it. And of course, it's not going to stay there. You tighten this one up. And that actually gets almost all of the car into frame. So go on Amazon and, hey Dan, welcome. If you're looking for a camera, you could do a lot worse than this one. I just realized maybe this will help clear up the picture. You're supposed to pull that plastic off, right? I didn't even realize it was on there until just now. And actually, it did clear the banding a little bit. That's kind of funny. So let's flip over to the main camera. And here's what we're going to be working on today. I've got the screwdrivers here. This is misaimed a little bit. And see, that's one of the things that camera has that I like a lot. The $10 camera has a swivel on the camera, so you can do a 360-degree swivel with the camera. The $90 camera does not. So issue 22 is what we're working on tonight. Put that over there for glue. I just kind of cleaned up the shop a little bit. Had a lot going on this past weekend working on the shuttle. And what I've been doing on the shuttle is I've been I cut the parts off. I paint the parts. Most of them have to be painted on both sides. I flip them over, paint the other side, let them dry, glue them on, which means it's usually each step is running an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on how many parts. It is very awesome, Eric. I am really glad that you found that thing. And, if anybody wants to get that same camera, either Eric or I can share the link to it. So now we've got, what is this? This is, the sun visor, the door. I'm not sure if I'm going to put on the sticker during the live stream because I watched what World of Wayne did and it sounded really good. and I'm not gonna, try and work with soap and water and everything else while I'm doing a live stream. The sticker I'll put on after the live stream and get it on there. It actually should go on really well. And the window, more of the window, and depending on how long that takes, you guys know we'll post, one of us will post it on Discord. But depending on how long these 4 stages take, we'll either stop there if we get that far, or I have a second magazine in here in case this goes really quick. So here's the first pack. Here's pack 79. Probably because I bought one and they ran out. Probably what it is that people have figured out that it's a good camera and they've just been scarfing them up. But I know Amazon is usually pretty good about getting that stuff like that back in stock. And anyway, Eric, if you could, post the link anyway, because even if it's unavailable, you can still track it and see. And speaking of which, speaking of waiting for things to come in, but I don't remember if I posted this on Discord or not, but they are eventually going to repop the X-Wing through Fan Home. Right now they're having some issues, the whole supply chain issues that all companies are having right now is stopping them from moving ahead on other projects. But I did talk to somebody, I actually got in contact with somebody who works with D'Agostini through the old website, and they are planning on repopping it. So installation of the supports. So here is the visor, and I don't know. Maybe it was a 50s thing. It's a really long visor, unlike the current ones we have, where each person has their own visor. So what it says to do is take one of these. It would be, this is 79D, and it just goes on here like that. There's a post right there that it slips down over, and then an EP screw. Dope. Got the box sitting here next to me. Did not get out the screw box, so I can put away my screws. And I'm just setting the screw boxes on top of the car right now. Okay, so these are the EP screws, and there are 3 of them. So there's 2 for the visor and 1 spare. I'm going to put them all in here because that's how I keep track of my screws, and there's a ton of EP screws in there. So take one of the EPs. Actually, I'm going to get out 2. It says to just tighten it. Actually, it doesn't say much anything about how tight to make it, but with it being a thin piece, pretty sure it needs to be tightened pretty well, all the way down, if it will go in the hole. I wonder. Okay, they're the same length. I was just looking, and it looked like that one on the table was a little bit shorter than this one. Oh, the audio from the camera is good too? Is it better than my microphone? I like my microphone. So there's one. There's the other one. And you can see that on this flat piece that's going to actually attach to the car is slanted away from the front. Oh, and I don't know if you guys can see, but to me at least, really, how's my audio tonight, by the way? Is my microphone being stupid? I think part of the problem is that Nano picks up anything or everything. So here's the other second screw. What was I going to say? Something had just occurred to me. I don't remember what it was. It's a sure sign of CRS. And for those of you who don't know, and I'm going to keep it kind of friendly, it's can't remember stuff. Let me get these screws out of the way. So this now goes into the car behind the windshield that I put in last week, or no, 2 weeks ago. Good all around. Okay. What was I going to say? I don't know. It was something about the mic. So let me get this out of the way and flip the car over. Cool. Thanks, Dan. And okay, if you guys have not known, I know what I was going to say. I was going to talk about my lighting. I've been having issues where the lighting, to me at least, in the pictures, has looked really blown out. And I finally figured out what it was. Back a while ago, the light that I have directly above the camera here went out. And then I had another one out. So I had 4 of these lights. 2 of them went out. So I'd spread them around to get the light a little bit better around the shop. But they were under warranty still. So when they finally came in, hey Kenny, welcome. So when the lights finally came in, I just hung them where I had open spots. And they weren't in the same places that they were originally. So it was blowing out because there's just a mass of lights. There was like the 3 round lights and then 2 of these LED bar lights. And it was all just blasting right here, you know, like surface of the sun type thing, like Kenny likes to do. I like that too, but it blows out the picture. He runs a much better camera than I do. So when I rearranged my lights back to what they used to be originally, everything looks good again. Okay. You guys are going to hear a bunch of the dogs barking. My wife came in, and Cody especially. Our smaller Pomeranian loses his mind. Okay, so let me take this and flip it over and not let the hood drop, which is what it tends to do every time I turn it over. Let me pull it this way. In case, I mean, I'm sure certain people, Spence hasn't chimed in yet. It's staying in place this time. But I know that some people have probably noticed, and my regulars for sure have noticed, that I've still got the HLI FX01, which is this one, board, and the FX02 going still. And disruptors, photon torpedo, yay, everything works. Okay, so this should bring the book back. Huh? Hang on. Where did I put the parts? Okay, I thought for a second there I'd done it wrong. That's why everything looks different than why it looks a little bit different. So I skipped to page 2. Hang on. The cutout piece was probably to cut down on costs. That way they could cut the car in multiple pieces. That would be my guess. So yeah, here's what I did, guys. I skipped right past the first page of the instructions and went to the second page. Oh man, I'm just skipping things all over the place today. I should be able to do this with the car here. We're supposed to put this piece into here, and then back here, there's some holes and some pins here that just pop in there. So let me.
Okay, that's it. Yes. I already locked it.
Put these in here. And it's not glued in, it's just popped in. Exactly, Eric. And cool, Mark. I haven't gotten parts for the Enterprise in probably about 3 weeks to a month. What did my wife just drop off? Oh. 2 things of Coke to go along with my Fireball. You know, white gloves, I can see pulling out of the Enterprise because it is not as awesome as I expected, but I'm too far in to really back out. Plus, it's going to be pretty awesome when it's done. The Ecto, I love. I really love the way the Ecto's coming together. Okay, so that back is on as well as it's going to go. It's not popping in any further. My wife locked one of the dogs in here. Tyson, it's okay. There you go. So I got that part popped in. Hey Leprechaun, how are you doing this evening? So the other part that I missed on this is the mirror. And I like what Dwayne did when he did his. He split these. Same, I had the same feeling with the DeLorean. They really irritated me towards the end of the DeLorean. I really wish it. At times I wish I didn't do it, but I've got the model. It's complete. I'm happy with it. So what Wayne did was he folded the paper over on the back like this, fed it into the edge, and then when you pull the paper back, you can just kind of follow it down and get it in there perfect. I'll tell you right now, I don't know about the hood. Bismarck, the 1-200 Bismarck I'm eventually going to do. The Titanic, I'm not so sure that I'm going to do the one from Eagle Moss because it irritates me to pay $1,600 for a model and then have to paint it. But on the other hand, my 1-200 plastic Titanic from Trumpeter, I've got almost $1,700 into it, and that's including paint that I have to put on it. It's just that when the type of model I don't think you should have to. I mean, you can have the option. Because I know people have. I believe that Mark Shue painted his Millennium Falcon.
Go in there, call please.
But when you have to paint it, that's kind of irritating on that kind of a model. The Trumpeter does. It really does. And I'll tell you right now, Kenny, the one thing that I don't like on the Okri one that is coming out, the all wood, is the stickers. But it's stickers on wood, not stickers on plastic. And it's only $300 versus $1,500. Okay, so that's got the mirrors on. This one has got a slight bubble here. I'm not going to worry about it.
You give him a face?
Yeah, I give it to you.
A piece of tape on the back of my fingers. Yeah, I will tell you, WGM, that when I do the Bismarck, I'm not going to repaint the whole thing, but I'm going to do something with that deck. That deck just looks too much like plastic. Yeah, and that's the thing, Mark, is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get the initial pack, and I may go a little bit beyond there, but I'm not going to go very much further on the Titanic if it is the way I expect it to be. Okay, so back to where I was supposed to be. Oh, wait. One other thing I did. Reason that the screws just looked a little odd to me is I forgot the knobs. So let me take this one off. Yeah. Did they get the, I can believe they have close to 2,000, and I haven't seen any of their videos. But like I said, I've got almost 1,700 into mine, and I'm barely even started. Did they get any kind of a light and sound board for it, WGM? Actually, let me think. White glove model. Your name's Kalen. Duh. Don't be me. So, Kaylin, did they get any sound card with it or into it? Because I picked up a $400 light and sound card for mine. Wow. So they got, did they get all of the, or both of the both the Pontos and the yes, the Trumpeter Titanic is the big one. So they got both the Pontos and the KLM expansion, the photo etch and wooden decks. Okay. Well, if they are still working on the light and sound, if they're looking for something in my, and I know I only have like 3 videos, but I think it was my second, maybe my third video, because I stopped working on the Titanic because I was waiting for other parts. But my second or third video has the sound card that I got. And I think that that thing is just outstanding. So let me pull this back a little bit. So this is what it's actually supposed to look like when it goes in the car, not the way I was about to put it in. So let me see. That's supposed to be towards the window. And so there's a small screw hole here, small screw hole here. That's where these GM screws go. I tell you what, Mark, if the Eagle Moss one looks like it, am expecting, if it is that you have to paint it, I would go with the trumpeter. I would go with the trumpeter, and I've got the Pontos, so I don't know what the KLM aftermarket decks and stuff is like. But if you want a good light and sound card, at least as far as I'm concerned, it's from the one I have is from Magic Scale Lighting, and it's actually got quote unquote stories built into the light and sound.
You should just stay out there. Why are you going up there?
That sounds like that would be cool.
Why are you going up there for?
Okay.
Jeez.
At first, when you said the Land Rover series, I was thinking about the car from I forget what the name of it was. It was the post-apocalyptic movie from the 70s where they had this funky-looking car in it. I was looking at one. I talked to a guy who's prints them, 3D prints them in resin. But I was like, I don't know if I want to pay $400 for that thing. Okay. It was a little bit fiddly, but that screws in there. Or at least it started. Cool. Nice. I would like to have a Ducati. Get this other one in. That knob is just about in the way. Okay. That's tightened down. Let me get this one tightened down. Spence! You missed it. I already talked about the boards. Okay. It's not like the visors we have these days. You see, it stays at the same height, but it rotates in place. So that's got the visor done, and that is the end of stage 79. Stage 80, I can get the car back out of the way.
That's the lights off.
Oh. Actually, let me see. There you can see the visor. It'll fold both ways. You can flip the mirror all the way around, blind the people coming at you. I have to say that this, so far, the body of this thing is probably 20 pounds. Hey, Dirk, that is 1/8 scale. That's from eel moss. Is one of the few things that they've done right. Wait till I get the London bus, because I pre-ordered, or I put in the order for that. Oh, you got the flyer. Oh, you got. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the flyer from Model Expo, the Oakley Titanic. Oh, Okay, now I'm picking up what you're putting down. So Dan, if you want to get the Oaktree Titanic, $249 is too much. What you do is you go to their website, their oaktree.com. It's in Spain actually. Change it to English. Register for their site because they give you discounts just because you register as a customer. I think it's under $200 direct through the company, and the shipping is only like another $25 or something like that. I'm going to get it eventually. It's just that I buy a lot of it, or have bought a lot of their stuff. So, okay, back to this. Sorry, sometimes I get involved in the conversations. I'm like, yeah. So like I said earlier, guys, I'm going to set the sticker aside, and I'm not, like a lot of people have been up in arms. Wow, my second monitor cut out for a second. A lot of people have been up in arms because back when this was still being developed and everything, I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to just put it, for right now, I'm going to put it in my spare parts, where I keep the screws and stuff. And then I'm going to use the World of Wayne method to put it on here and actually put some marks on here because I want to get it as close to perfect as I can. I may actually wait until I get the second one before I put either of them on. First thing to do, so let me see, what does this say? Unpeel the logo from the back and carefully stick it to the outside. Diagonal line should be 45 degrees. And actually, Wayne put his right about there. Let's see if I can lift it up without it falling off. He put his right about there. I want to wait. I may actually have my wife do it because she does decals on cars, and when she does them, they're perfect and they never come off. Wow. $1,100 to keep your vision. I did not get the Kaylin, I did not get the power mod. What I'm going to do, what he did, okay, let me back up here. What he did is he put water, and it might have actually had some soap in here over top of this. It's the exact same thing they do with real car decals, is you put water over the top of the metal, so that when you put the sticker on it, you can still position it. It makes it almost like a water slide decal. And then once you get it in place, you just kind of squeegee the water out, and it works. It'll stay where it's at, just like it was meant to be there. No, and like I said, my wife has done that on our cars, on several of them. And people stop us and then say, "Can we take a picture of your car?" So here's the first part. And yeah, $1,100 for cataract replacement lens upgrade is more important than a model, I think. And Kaylin, no, I'm not going to get the power mod for it. What I'm going to do is on the DeLorean, I bought a battery, or not a battery, I bought a power supply that has that is shaped, the connections in the shape of batteries. So you put it in the battery box along with the blanks that you need for it. set the power supply to whatever voltage you need. You have a cord, then it's a wall wart, but you're going to have one even with the power mod. And that setup is like $15, where I think the power mod for it is like $60-$70. All right. So you got that flap, tang, flange, whatever you want to call it, with the split in it. It's going to go through here. Let me see. Once it goes through there, oh, I see how that works. On the back side here, there's a screw hole. And that screw is actually going to go up inside of here, up inside of the open area right there, so that it'll actually hold it in place. Yeah, see, and that's the thing, is it, for $97, that's an awful lot of money for that. Where I can just take a, I think this has, I'm trying to remember, I think it was 6 AA's. So that's going to be 9 volts. I can take a 9-volt power supply and literally just take the ends of it, cut the plug off, and solder the ends into it. Whole lot cheaper. I mean, Chloe and the gang, I like their stuff. They make some really good stuff. I'm just not going to pay that kind of money for it. So, screws, where are my screws? Got some RMs, some AMs, some TPs, rubber grommets, that metal piece, this metal piece are the hinge, and the door handle. Yeah, remind me on Discord. I can hunt up my eBay, or not eBay, my Amazon order for that, and post it so that you'll see what I'm talking about. It looks really cheesy, to be honest, but it's well worth the money. I mean, I've never put batteries into the DeLorean, haven't had to, and it works anytime I want to turn it on. A new type of screw. What ends up happening with all these, what ends up happening with all of these things, these screws at the end of the build, when I need the screw box, I throw them into another box altogether. I still have leftover screws from the Millennium Falcon. There it is. And not a problem, Mark. So now, hold the mirror, which that's what that's going to be. Hold that on there. Just put the screw in here. And I went back and reread the message that I have, and I thought it was for something completely different. Let's see. Okay. That screw does not tighten completely tight, but it's holding it in there. I know I was about to say something. I don't know. So that's got that one. Then the AM screw. Interesting. It's AM, so that should be a metal piece. Not positive. I can't tell for sure if it is just by touching it. It might be plastic, might be metal, but since it's using AM screws, that should be metal. That's funny, because my other AM screws are silver. Put the screw on here. And this will just fit in there. Exactly. Now for something completely different. So you can see there's a pin. There's a pin on the end of the door handle there. A lug with a screw hole there. Fits into these two holes. Just slides in there like that. And then the metal screw goes in here from the back. Or the screw going into the metal door handle goes in here from the back. And on the back here, I just saw, so there's 3 holes there. These 2 here are to hold the door panel on one in a later stage. So put that in there. Let's try this again. That's better. That's on there. I have a strange noise on here. Shouldn't be actually. Wow. The microphone is actually dropping down quite a ways when I don't talk. That must be the software update that screwed it up for streaming before. Okay. So now, on the inside here, it's just the 2 RM screws. I've got 3, only need 2. They're sanding an old table. You know, they don't need to sand the old table. You can just use it as a workbench. I have to watch that video still. I was at work when Kenny posted it. So I'm just looking to make sure I put this in. Maybe I should read. Facing the exterior of the door. Well, there you. I was about to put this in backwards. I was putting it in this way. And the L is right there. Or no. Sorry. There's a 1 there. The L is right there. Yeah, I heard something about carpal tunnel syndrome from using his vibrator. I don't know. So the L goes towards the in. Oh, it should be facing the exterior. That's why it's feeling funny when I'm trying to put it in there. So that goes on there like that. Then this. Yeah, no adults here. So now this metal piece, let me see. Feels like it's probably sheet steel. I would assume because it needs to hold the door in place. Slides over top. Now that I've got it on there, I'll show you. Those 2 holes go over those 2 lugs there, which then are trapping this part. And then these two rubber grommets. We'll go over top of that. He uses it as a paint mixer. What the hell, man? Chill after dark. Actually, these are not rubber. Not sure if they're plastic or if they're, let me see if it says. Just says washers. It doesn't say whether they're plastic or metal. But they could be metal washers. So, put the first one in. Actually, guys, I think my voice is going some again. I don't know why I can't get rid of this cold. I'm not sneezing 50 times at one time anymore, but I am still sneezing. Which I'm sure that makes the people when I'm in the office really uncomfortable. We've all been vaccinated, but I'm sure it makes people uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. I know back when this thing first started that my son went to the grocery store when things were opening up a little bit, and he sneezed, and everybody around him it was like cockroaches, what looked like turning on the light and cockroaches. They were just scattering. Chris, LTC, how's it going? His brother has sideburns. Nah, that's funny. And it's the 70s porn music, of course. I don't think I've ever seen the ancient honey badger video. So there's the door at this point. It's got the hinge on it. The L is facing the exterior of the vehicle. I'm still not sure how that's going to go into the car. So next thing is parts. The parts that go on here are, some of them are just, they just pin on. Some of them have screws on the backside. Putting trim on the car door. I was born 15 years ago. I'm an old man. You do, Kenny? Of course you amuse us. It's how you gather following. Following is you amuse people. And always remember, Kenny, we're not laughing with you. We're laughing at you. Oh, that's right. There's 3M tape on the back of these. Some of these. So this one here. So this one here goes onto the bottom of the window frame here. Take left window frame support, push it in place. Bottom. So this would go like this. Okay. So there's a pinhole right here. There, you can see it there. That pinhole is what told me exactly how this goes on here. This pinhole, screw hole, and screw hole will line up with this pin and these two screw holes. Yes, we do laugh at it. Actually, we didn't laugh at his wood. We all sat there in rapt attention when he was playing with his wood for 8 hours. Bunch of grown men watching another man play with his wood. What has the world become? So that goes on there like that. see at the trim underneath the red stripe. And this quarter window here, I'm just looking, doesn't look like there's any plastic covering on it. Let's see. Never experienced Schadenfreude. He did have a lot of wood to play with. He really did. And occasionally when I do work on the Pearl, you guys watch me play with my wood. So it's all fair in love and wood play. Okay, I'm looking at this wrong. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to put this piece in here. This piece actually sits. There's a groove here, a groove down here. There's 2 pins. And so that'll just drop in there like that. Threw me off a little bit that there was a groove right here. So then this has to fit down. There's into this hole like this. Let me show you. You can see the hole there. Let me hold this on the back side there. Some lugs for the screws. So this will slide down in here. Before I do that, just saw something else. Screw hole there, 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 and there. So slides down and just kind of pops in there. Yes, it does, Donnie. You didn't know that? Of course there's a window that can roll down. And even better yet, Donnie, there's this little flip. Is it? Does it? Does it? It doesn't. In a real car, the flap window would turn. Or not right, or Knight Rider. I need to know. Okay. In space, no one can hear you scream when you open the window. Kaylin, that sounds really cool. Okay, so OP and DM screws. There's 2 DMs on the bottom and 1, 2, 4 OP screws. So let me get out the DMs. Again, DM meaning that it's going into metal because the M. Somebody needs to build that. So I'm going to get these started first so that the window doesn't fall back all the way back out. You know, I think I've got 2 of the 18-inch TOS Enterprises. That might become kidder prizes. So just put a screw in here, a screw in here. They're not all the way tight. I'm not going to tighten them down until after I get the 4 OP screws in. And the OP screws don't actually go through the panel. They go. Just thought of something. Why are those OP screws Because this is not, is it plastic? Yeah, okay, that's what it's doing. Never mind, I confused myself. They're OPs because they're just go straight through the metal into the plastic on this side. This plastic on the window frame. Exactly. If you try to throw the beer cans out the window with the window closed, they just bounce back and hit you. There are 4 left. That would be funny. I am down with the OP screws. I had to figure out why they were OPs instead of OMs. So let me put, if I can, get that one in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these all 4 threaded in before I go back and tighten all 6 screws. And it was funny the other day. I was watching one of the World of Wayne videos, and I watched him do something that the same thing I do, which is cross back and forth with the screws. What was funny to me about it was the part that it was 2 separate parts. They were not connected at all, but he was still going back and forth between the corners. So now that that's in there, try this one instead. Nope, that's not going to work. That one. It's number 3. Number 4. These metal ones are quite a ways out still. I just didn't want to tighten them down and have to tweak the plastic window frame at all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws in there, and that's in there. Perfect. Last few parts. So this part is going to go right here, but it's not just, it doesn't just clip in, it's actually taped in there. Let's start it a little bit. That's the ice maker. There's also I can hear a clock ticking in the background. That's the one thing about these really tiny, really tiny tweezers. They tend to lose their grip after a while. So let me lay that in there like that, lining up those 2 holes right there. And it just lays down in there like that. And there's another one just like it that goes here. And I saw when Wayne did it, he didn't say anything, but I saw that it was starting to be a little bit away from the corner. He was able to shift it. So I'm going to make sure, instead of starting at the bottom corner, I'm going to start up here at the top where these two pieces fit together. I was really actually pretty impressed with how he was able to push it, get it back in there where it was supposed to be, because he had a little bit of a gap in it when he started doing it. And see, that's why right there. There's a small gap down there, and if you don't have that gap there, actually, you know what? May have gotten a little bit too high. I spoke too soon. I'm going to turn the blade the opposite direction so that I don't end up cutting the tape. Okay, let's try this a second time. I didn't get quiet. You guys got quiet. I'm still talking. That's better. Still got the same gap, but when I did it the first time, I could feel it. It was actually up on top of this other piece. In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter. And that's what those two holes are for. It's for this piece here, this last piece of the window frame that just pushes in there like that and sits on there like that. I know. Maybe, actually, let me see. No, there's still like 7 guys there. Okay. Issue 92. This one, I think, nope, not quite to the putting the door into the car. Interesting place for a sticker. So, and here we've got the window, some screws, the door panels that actually seal the door. I don't think the window actually goes in just yet. There's the pin for the door latch. What? When you roll the window down in space, whoops, I threw the bag on the floor. Didn't mean to throw the bag on the floor. When you roll the window down in space, the beer cans fly out. When you're 50 plus, never try to replace a wiring harness in one day. Your body will make you pay. Absolutely. Oh, I see what you're saying, Donnie. Yes. Gets really quiet. No air. I know exactly what you're talking about with that. When I go insane and decide to try and mow both front and the backyard one day, my body says, you motherfucker. Oh, there went my PG rating. Yeah. Actually, on the that was one of the things that was really cool on the this Millennium Falcon was the blister packs started coming with actual. The blister packs actually started coming with some blister pieces for the frame to build the Falcon on. SM screws. I mean, yeah. Shh. Who's going insane? Am I going insane? I must be going insane because I'm talking to myself. You guys are just listening to me talk to myself. Which is weirder? Me talking to myself or you guys listening to me talk to myself? So, okay, so this part here are 2 screw holes. One there, one there. To go into these 2 screw holes and slight lugs. And that oval opening or round opening there will match up, leaving the screws from one of the screws from the last step open. So I need 2 SM screws. I'm not building the Enterprise tonight. It doesn't have parts enough to build the Enterprise. But wait, you know, here's the thing I'm wondering. I do answer myself back sometimes, Leprechaun. Sometimes I get in an argument with myself and I lose. That's when you really know you have problems. But so, Donnie, here's the thing. You're always poking at me to build the Enterprise. But what about Mark? He's got the Enterprise as well. And he's on like step 2. I think. I'm not sure. Are you that far, Mark? Or is it that I haven't built enough for you to be confident to go further? Come on. See, like right now, not getting in an argument with the screws yet, but I'm talking to them. There we go. Step 5. You're really pretty close. If you've got more parts, what step are you on in the parts? Because I actually do have 1 pack of parts for step 10. Well, there is that. So what you're saying is you pick on me because I respond. And you know, it's a vicious cycle because I respond because you pick on me. This is plastic. I thought this would be metal. You just got book 11 tonight. I'm on book 10. You're not going to do videos? You should do videos. Who cares how many people do? I mean, honestly, if it was just my building, if it was just my building that was bringing you guys here, I don't think you'd be here because there's all kinds of people building everything that I build. I think part of it has to do with the chatter that I keep doing. And I don't know, maybe it's just you guys are trying to get me likes and views on YouTube, and I appreciate it. So there's that one. Exactly, Donnie. Heresy. He should be building. He should be building and videoing. Because he's done things I haven't. I still haven't done the mod to the Buzzard collectors. Or not the chiller grills. Overview videos and and do step by step on the DeLorean, hey, I'll watch it. I'll watch them, both of them. I know Donnie will. Donnie, if if you build it on Discord, Donnie will watch. That one's still got a little ways to go in. So there is the front of the door. Okay, so that goes in there like that. Seems like a door swings further than that. Maybe not. The DeLorean was actually a pretty good build too. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Most people try and keep their PG rating, honestly. Kind of like Kenny. I think Kenny's like this. I mean, at least I get the impression. But, you know, my PG rating, every time I put it on there that my videos are not for kids, so I don't have to give a fuck about what I say. Oops. Sorry, guys. Did anybody's ears just explode? You could do the Enterprise on the Sunday show. There's no reason why not. The Sunday show is more about just hanging out. And even if you're on YouTube, you're hanging out with us while we build. Not very often you can get a bunch of guys together and just build their models. And you know, that's the thing, is every now and then you stop and you look and you're like, what's he doing? And you ask. I mean, I've watched Donnie build some of his planes, and I'm amazed. And right now he's building that car, and it's kind of funny. And this is no insult intended at all, Donnie. I just think it's an observation. This speed you build an airplane is completely different than the speed you build a car, because I don't think you build very many cars. On the planes, you're done real quick. You don't have to clean it up. You just do what I do. I shove the mess to the side. Or like earlier when I showed the launch tower for the shuttle, I just move it to a different table in the room. And tomorrow morning, before I can do any work, I have to move it back. Okay, so we've got this pin. This is the pin for the door. It's the door latch. And it's a perfect opportunity to lose a spring, have it zipping all over the place. And see, well, yes, this table is relatively, or these two tables are relatively clean. I don't want to look at my solder area. Yeah, life, it has been very busy. The summer has not let up yet, and we're almost into actual winter. Okay, so the pin went inside the spring, and then this part here has it's got a hole here that the pin goes through, screw hole, and a pin that'll actually go into the door. And Spence, you've been busy for a while. I don't even remember. I don't think you ever posted whether you got the latrine you were fixing come back together. I know you had a couple of issues with it. So the pin's going to go through this hole. The bottom pin, the locator pin's going to go here. Hey, locator pins, $1,600 model. It's got locator pins, unlike the shuttle build. Sorry. And the screw will go up here. And it is going to be a DM screw. can't be that bad, Mark, because I know Donnie has a space like this with all his paints right here, and his paint booth is literally right there. Sometimes I look at the spaces you guys have, and I'm a little bit envious because if I had smaller space than what I've got, I wouldn't get 10 or 15 models going at a time and then be strapped for time to do any of them. So that's in there a little bit cockeyed right now. Cool. With the number of locator pins that are not on that shuttle build, I can agree with you there, Donnie. It's fine to airbrush in the house. I airbrush in the house. So I'm holding the part in place, tightening down the screw. It's not tight enough to hold it yet. I think they should have made this piece out of metal rather than plastic, because that is going to be a failure point at some point. So I got it to stay in there. It is straight. And now the pin right here, that's actually got some pretty good tension on it. That's going to hold the door pretty well. Exactly. Donnie says it exactly right. Don't ask her. My wife knows I have a paint booth here and in the garage. We both have room. But actually, Mark, what you should do is don't ask her and then move in with Eric. Just mess his life up. So the last pieces here are these little bits of felt. Because apparently, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. I didn't run the windows on the DeLorean up and down a whole lot. But apparently the DeLorean windows have a tendency to get scratched because they didn't put these little felt pieces in. Well, and see, that's the thing. To be honest, Donnie, I don't vent to the outside right now. Sometimes I will, but usually I don't vent to the outside. I just vent right back into the house. And so I am very particular about what I spray and how much I spray. Rattle cans are the worst. And sometimes I'll forget to put the, turn on the filter or the air, the filter, the paint booth, and so it gets a little bit stinky in here. So like I kind of said, what this is a little strip of felt with some tape or glue on the backside, and it goes, Wayne was saying, you know, you get it right up to the edge, not over, so it's not visible. And so you can see, or you can't see, the felt, but you can see it right there. Do the same thing with the other one. Oops, I dropped it. Now, lacquer paints would do it. And see, that's the thing, Donnie, is actually I would not have to drill a 4-inch hole because it's got that oval opening on the end of the hose. and I could actually just do the hole for that. Plus I've got, and I didn't realize that these were double hung windows in here until the other day when I tried to close one because I could hear one of the dogs outside barking. But since I've got double hung windows, I could vent either at the top or the bottom of one of the windows and just use the that same oval. It's about 6 inches wide and not very, or 6 inches long and not very wide, maybe about 3 inches wide. So I could do something with that. Let's see. Might have that one a hair higher than I wanted, but yeah, I can. So that's things I can see it because I can almost see it. Let me put some white paper behind it. There, I can see it on the back one right there. It is just barely sticking up. But thanks, Gizmo. Figure I'm going to leave that up one more week and then I'm going to take it off. Ah, that would do it. I think show the size. Okay. So on this here, on this window, because the tint, you're never going to see that felt sticking up. Without even trying, I put it almost perfect in there. But I see one thing I'm going to have to do. I don't have to, but it's just me and the way I do models. I hate having a spot like that and like that. So I may take a sanding stick to that to clean it up. And that is the end of this stage. Let me find the box for this one because I'm not going to have, that ain't it, I don't think. Had to go watch. So how was the vibrator video? Small candelabra. Is that it? That's not it. That's it. So that's going to keep the window from getting scratched up. I've got to watch this video because apparently that machine is a violent little bastard. So there's the door. And move this out of the way. Some good videos on people making heaters. Let me think. I don't have anything like that. I know I've got some cobbled together projects. So let me move this. I'm going to bring the car back over. Set it on its side. Not let it roll over and break this mirror off. Which actually, I saw an email or went and reread an email where they're sending a second right door because there's a mirror on the door that comes in issue 91 or pack 91 that does not belong there. Okay, so once that is in place, and so they're replacing the door in pack 107. So once that is screwed in place, actually fits pretty well. It's going to fit a little bit closer. and then the pin is going to pop into a piece that's right there. Not there yet. It must have to go up a little bit higher because that's a horrendous gap at the top. Look at that gap. But from what I've seen, the gaps are not that bad. They're not as bad as what I heard some people had on the DeLorean. I didn't have really bad gaps. So it is now 7:30, 90 minutes into the stream. I have another pack here or another issue here, but I'm not going to start it because that would put me at 3 hours. So let me flip over. Actually, let's. Wow. Try that again. There. It took a second for that camera to come up. So there's the car. There's the door that we worked on tonight. And when that camera works, it's fantastic. I think it's because I've got 3 cameras, but I also have the cameras set to turn off. Oh, you know what? That's why. So I've got the 922 that is my main camera, and that one set on the same USB port. This one comes up without any problem because it's not on the same USB port. It's okay, Mark. Just have your eyes fixed. I was kind of weird because I wasn't looking right at the monitor, and it looked like something went behind me over here. Or no, over here. So, getting some good progress. Like I said, over halfway done. That was issue 22 issue 22 packs. What was it? Pack 82, I think it was. So yeah, there's about 60 packs left, and I think it's coming along real good. Next week, I will probably do more than just one live stream simply because I've got the whole week off. I'm going to do more than one live stream. I'm going to do a couple of videos. I haven't done a video in probably 6 or 7 months, easy. And I need to do some videos because that's the way I can catch up on the on where I'm at with the space shuttle build. Maybe do some on the Black Pearl and do a video. Still need to do a video on the F-16. Just a lot of stuff that I haven't done. It's not Dr. Pepper. This is not Dr. Pepper. This is Fireball and Coke. Yeah, and I've got that set up that way. The problem with the if you have 2 cameras on the same USB, I want to say port, but it's not port because you've got multiple plugs. But if it's on the same USB device, even though they're supposed to be separate devices, one of your cameras will not work if you don't have it set up to disable the other one as you are not using it. So, what am I thinking? Oh, might do not a stream, but do a video of the Claude. Very, very barely started. I've just kind of taped it together to see and gone, oh my God, this thing is small. I'm taking your advice, Spence. I'm actually looking with a critical eye at the detailing of this thing because I'm not big into Probably a USB bandwidth thing. I'm not big into detailing things I'll never see again. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to detail inside the cockpit. The engine, from what you said, the resin one is a bare. I'm looking at this. I'm not sure if those raised bumps are supposed to be there on the tail or not. Looks almost like they used a heated screwdriver to make that indent there. What am I doing with a tiny plane? I'm building it. Huh? Do you have them set up to shut off, Donnie, when you switch to another one? Or is it one of these things of because they upgraded some software and didn't tell me that it now works? Yeah. Here's the extent of what I've done. I've taped that together. I put a whole 3 parts. Is that 3? No, is it? It is. I have put 4 parts together. And I've done a little, and pun is intended, painting. I am taping it just to see how big it's going to be, or not big. So I'm going to call it a video, guys. Like and subscribe. If you're not a member of HLI, if you haven't been there, the link is in the description. Great, HLI is a great place to go and meet new modelers. Really, I'll have to try that, Donnie. But if you're not a member of HLI, come over to the site, look around, take a look at some stuff, join if you're interested. Great place to meet, guys. Great place to see a lot of great builds. There is a lot of talent in HLI. Like and subscribe to the video, or if you feel like it. If not, that's fine. Appreciate you stopping by. Here every Tuesday night at about 6 o'clock Central, building something. I'm always building something. I am calling it a stream. You guys have a great night, and I will catch you on the flip side.